Hello, I'm Matthew Richardson. Welcome to the Whiteboard. Brought to you by British Paints. We've got a cracking show in store for you today as we take a look at one of the most electrifying players in the competition. Let's take a ride with Nic Naitanui. Let's have a look at Nic at under 18 level. He played 2 years in this carnival, and look at him at age 17. He still had a lot of physical development. He was obviously very raw, but he was a great athletic specimen, and we were all very excited at what we saw. We saw plenty of that ruck work in the years to come, but this was the stuff, turning opponents inside out at 200 centimetres. To be able to gather the ball at ground level and then turn your opponent inside out is absolutely unbelievable. He got to the Eagles at number 2 in the draft. He was always going to be a high draft pick behind Jack Watts, and pretty quickly we got a glimpse at what he could do. Mucked up the bounce here, but at 200 centimetres to bend down and still have the ability to draw away with pace, pick up the ball and kick the goal. Everyone was very excited of what they saw. The other thing was his ability at ground level. We got a glimpse of this pretty early, spinning his opponent, balking Brian Lake there, putting it through. We didn't see a lot of it in his first few years. We saw glimpses, but it's becoming more and more regular as his career goes on. This stuff here, being able to get around Jordan Lewis and put the ball through. Let's have a look now at his work when the ball is on the deck. Well, for a ruckman, Nic Naitanui is incredibly dangerous when the ball hits the deck. He's got cat-like reflexes at ground level, and his second efforts are as good as any on-baller in the competition. He also loves to tackle, getting after Marty Clark here and bringing him to ground inside forward 50, something ruckmen rarely do. His career high tackles in a game is 10. I would say that there hasn't been many ruckmen that have ever been able to do that in the modern game. The other thing the Eagles are happy to do is to give him the ball out in space. He's not a huge uncontested ball winner, but when he gets it, he has the ability to burst clear away from his opponents, as we see here. Gets the ball in a running situation and kicks the ball forward. The other thing that he's very good at is at clearances. He has the ability to tap it, and then his second efforts at ground level to clear it and kick that goal is unbelievable. Time to take a look now at how he goes in the air. Well, this is an area we'd love to look at all day long. Nic Naitanui taking overhead marks and contested marks. Because of his spring and height, when he decides to jump at the ball and get his arms up, he is almost impossible to stop. It's actually not a huge strength in his game because he's always hunted the ball at ground level. I don't believe he's gone for as many marks as he should. His career high marks in a game is only 6, and over his career he only averages 3. But when he does decide to go for them, he has the ability to take absolute hovers like these ones that we see here. He nearly took Mark of the Year a couple of years ago. Once he starts to believe in himself and hunt the footy in the air, he can definitely have the ability to take 8 to 9 marks a game. We all hope that he can do that. Let's check out his work in the ruck now. Well, this is what he's employed to do. First and foremost, he is a ruckman and his tap work is his job. That one there to Daniel Kerr was a clean clearance. With his ability to jump and his athleticism, there's not a ruckman in the competition that he can't get over at boundary throw-ins and in the centre bounce. This was all right by Christos, kept him nullified, didn't let him jump, and that's what you do probably need to do. But he gets so many clean clearances to his on-ballers because of his ability to get his hands up above the other ruckman. And I don't know how many times we see West Coast on-ballers sprinting clear of a clearance or kicking goals inside forward 50 like this one. I love this one to Lacroix, the old spin around, but the one I love the most in the centre bounce is when he gets really good elevation and he's able to hit the ball forward like he does on that occasion to Lacroix. That is so dangerous. That's the hardest one to do, hitting the ball forward. Now for the big one. How do you try and stop Nic Nat? Well, how do you stop Nic Naitanui? Well, on this day, the job went to Darren Jolly and Ben Reid. And the best way to do that is to limit his ability to run and jump at the football in the ruck contest. And that's what Darren Jolly did. If you can stop him here and then keep on him at the second efforts, he doesn't win a lot of football on the spread in the uncontested situation at the moment. So if you can stop him in the contest, stop him from jumping, you've got a pretty good chance of keeping him reasonably quiet. Here, Darren Jolly locks him up, doesn't allow him to jump, keeps his eye on the ball and doesn't give a free kick away. Absolutely no influence on that ruck contest. This one here, Jolly jumps very early, Naitanui can't get his normal spring over the top. Once again, Collingwood actually win that clearance. So Darren Jolly did a really good job. When he went forward, he had Ben Reid, an All-Australian defender, and he did really well. He kept touch on him. He didn't allow him to run and jump at the football, and because of that, he had no real influence on the game. This one here, he does a good job at just keeping him out of the contest. Harry O'Brien takes the mark. Keeps him locked up at ground level here, doesn't let him run and jump, but Nic Naitanui, because of his second efforts, he was really able to still influence this for the Eagles. They end up getting a goal. So your job's not done once you nullify him in the marking contest. You've got to keep at him at ground level. The other thing you can do is get third man up assistance to beat him, because he did have the strength on this occasion to get into a better position. Marley Williams over the top, punches it away. You get the feeling the sky's the limit with Nic Nat. It's hard to predict how good he could be. To think he hasn't reached his prime yet is just scary. He's still only 22 and probably at least 4 years away from nearing the peak of his talents. We've still got probably another decade of exhilarating displays from the man. Thanks for joining us. See you next week on The Whiteboard.